Welcome to Judge of Ghana TV. Akwa Baba, Judge of Ghana TV so.
Obema bi o wiase na opedaache na awurade asoma na mana doma chede bi no. Ohia oba Akosua Serwaa wo na.
In this episode of Judge of Ghana TV, we are continuing with the Akosua Serwaa story as it unfolds. You've just heard the words of Apostle Nana Kwating Amanfo, commending Akosua Serwaa Fosu as the backbone of the late Charles Kwadwo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba. And the compliment was so deep. He said, every man should pray for an Akosua Serwaa if they have a gift or a talent, to have an Akosua Serwaa in their lives. Because without Akosua Serwaa, there would have been no Daddy Lumba. This is what the Bible terms helpmeet. She was a helpmeet to Daddy Lumba. And Daddy Lumba took advantage and mistreated her. Took advantage of her and just did what he liked. Because how can you treat somebody who has been selfless and sacrificed for you in this manner by gallivanting all over and having relationships with all sorts of people? And because of that, look at what has happened after your demise. He also went on to say, Apostle Nana Kwating Amanfo went on to say that the person who needs to be blamed for all this mess is the late Charles Kwadwo Fosu, Daddy Lumba. He's responsible for this mess. I remember when we were little, sometimes I came from a big family. And sometimes, if somebody was being naughty, they will fart in the room and then leave the room. So when the smell starts to stink up the room, people will start pushing each other and say, why have you farted and everything? And the person who actually did the fart has left the room. That is what Daddy Lumba has done. He caused the trouble and then he's left this world and then left the victims to try to repair the problem. And the victims are the two ladies who were in his life at the end. Akosua Serwaa Fosu and Priscilla Odo Broni. And the sad thing is that why a young lady like Priscilla Odo Broni will, knowing that Daddy Lumba is married, why she would allow things to escalate to this level. If it's she, because she knew he was married. And when you know you're getting into a relationship with a man and you know they are married to another woman, of course they're going to tell you that the woman is not good because they just want to take advantage of you. But I guess it's a lesson for everybody, for the young ones coming up, that when you enter into a relationship and the person has been married before, make sure you see that divorce certificate before you enter into a relationship with that person. So now that I've gone through some preamble, the woman of the moment, Akosua Serwaa, spoke to her supporters and thanked everybody. Let's take a listen to what she said. Take a listen and watch this. And when we come back, we'll continue. Take a listen to this.
Adolfo, anopapem, Akosua Serwaa Fosuh na me fremo de asida kese emama. Idi kan ye de asida ema yenyankopon. Etoso masida koma social media platforms so fo nyina. Etoso me de Ghana fo nso nyina adolfo nyina so me damase. Legal wives for husband. Adolfo nyina mintumi ka edinsa me bobo a mintumi mobo. Ko papa shi osofo. Mrebi baya na minim se me wa adolfo sa na machredo. Mama mehu se me so dofo bi ete ho. Asemi baya no ni mako amanie bebre mu. Enso no still mugina painting time echi. Biko me koto dwanim me damase. But mama mehu se me so me ka ho bi. Ti momo enfo odo enfa mbom na yenya baako. Na nkunimdi no eye dia. Ko se de ode ne ho to awurade so no. Ade nyara di boa no ma ewie ne yie. Yeso ye de ho ato no so. Ti me damase. Because enya na dom anka me nim se mu nyina akra no na obi kai me. Nti ma se nyina ne se asida enkam obi a awurade hwe mo so. Na on kai ho. Yesu ndin mu no. Nkunimdi ebeba. Nkunimdi bi awurade dia. Ti no. Edamase.
Very graceful words, very calm. This lady is the word is, somebody said, demure. She's very calm and graceful. You know, she knows that she's got genuine documents because, look, Germany is not like Ghana where you can just be parading fake documents. If Akosua Serwaa Fosuh was carrying fraudulent documents, as Ebusuapanyin Kofi Owusu says, she will not be walking down the streets of Germany. And she's obviously a German citizen, so she flew into Ghana using a German passport. Do you think they wouldn't have arrested her by now? With this court, results, court ruling that is reverberating around the world. Are you trying to tell me the German embassy in Ghana has not heard that this ruling has come out and they are suggesting that the German documents are fake? Do you think they haven't heard? And the people in Germany, the officials in Germany haven't heard. If they haven't heard, I'm sure some Ghanaian person has informed them about what has happened in Ghana. And social media is global. As soon as the thing happens, it reverberates all over the world. That's the lightning speed power of social media and the internet. So the German ambassador has heard about this. The officials in Germany have heard about this case, and they've heard about this crowbar judgment of Her Ladyship Justice Dorinda Smith Arthur. It's a crowbar ruling. Doesn't make sense. I mean, if you are questioning the stamping or what you call authenticating, that is a different thing. But to say that the documents are not the original documents that were submitted to the courts are fraudulent, I'm sorry, Judge Dorinda Smith Arthur, you crossed the line, because the only people who can declare a document issued in their country as valid or invalid are the officials of that country. That is why when you go through the airport and you're stopped because the immigration people are concerned about your documents, your passports, whether it's authentic or not. They pull you aside and then they contact the country of issue to ask them to verify that your documents are genuine and authentic. They don't just say, oh, we've seen your document and it's a fake. No, they have to verify. So that's how things work internationally. But it's only in the Ghana court that they don't have any way of checking. And also, if you look at the timeline, this is what I was telling, I was having a discussion on my previous video on the judgment, the court judgment. And I was having a conversation with some of my viewers who sent in comments. And I was telling them that if you look at the speed at which Ebusuapanyin Kofi Owusu wanted to do the funeral on the 6th of December 2025. And if you look at the time that he informed Akosua Serwaa Fosuh that they are not going to let her do the widowhood rites. And even if they give her an opportunity, it'd be because of her children. It was maybe a month and a half, a month or so ago. It wasn't long. So it wasn't after that Akosua Serwaa Fosuh started looking for a lawyer. And they found lawyer William Kusi to handle their case. So it's actually not a long time. It might be true that Daddy Lumba died over 5 months ago, but everything was done at short notice. So if certain stamps hadn't been gotten and technicalities hadn't been fulfilled, it was because of the speed with which Ebusuapanyin Kofi Owusu wanted to do the burial and somehow sidestep Akosua Serwaa Fosuh from the whole proceedings. So now, if you look at the situation now, when the matter got to the courthouse, the judge said she did not allow the injunction request to happen. She rejected it, the application for injunction. Okay, she rejected it and then said she will deal and resolve the matter for Akosua Serwaa Fosuh, who brought the plaintiff, in ample time for them to do the funeral on the 13th of December 2025. Not knowing that she was going to be using technicalities and going to the point of calling Akosua Serwaa Fosuh a fraudster by suggesting that the documents were AI generated and fraudulent. She didn't believe in the authenticity of the documents. They weren't originals. It was an extract. If you listen to Lawyer Kusi, he said the documents were actually originals and they had notarization. So it seems like the story differs depending on who you hear from. But this is Ghana for you. If somebody has made up their mind that they're going to sidestep your documents, It doesn't matter what stamp you have on it. They've made up their mind. And as far as I'm concerned, from my perspective, looking at how things went on in the courthouse, it was clear from the beginning that the judge was biased against Akosua Serwaa Fosu from the beginning. So they set her up to fail because they didn't give her ample time to get all those stamps that they required in the courthouse. The first thing they did was they rejected the injunction. Because if the injunction was in place, perhaps Lawyer Kusi could have run around and made sure all the stamps that the judge wanted were put in place before resubmitting the document to the court.
The expert says it's a marriage certificate. The judge says it's not. It's an extract.
I think that because it's clear from this case that our judges lack understanding of documents coming from other countries, especially non-English speaking countries. I think that they should be educated by the judiciary of Ghana. The Ghana Judicial Service must educate them. They must have courses for judges to see examples of maybe work in collaboration with the high commissions and the embassies of the various countries in Ghana, and have them to come in and teach our judges what documents from different countries look like and the peculiarities of documents from different countries. Because if the judge had seen documents, German marriage documents before, she wouldn't have made that outlandish remark in a ruling that the documents were AI generated and fraudulent. And because of that, she couldn't authenticate them, and she couldn't make a ruling based on them. Perhaps. So there's an educational gap that has been exposed by this Akosua Serwaa Fosu court case. And I can only suggest that the Chief Justice organize training so that this mess up doesn't happen in the future. Kindly go to www.kofi.com/Courtroom. Download these 2 free ebooks. The first ebook is on 365 days of leadership daily devotional. And the other book is on corruption in the 54 countries of Africa. The title is The Three-Front Legal War. What can Akosua Serwaa do? After the initial Kumasi High Court judgment, we're looking at what sort of legal standpoints. I mean, of course, it has come out that the legal team of Akosua Serwaa Fosu, which is led by lawyer William Kusi, they're going to go for appeal. So that is one option. But what are the other options that are available? I want us to look at that today. So, Akosua Serwaa's fight for recognition is not over. It's evolving into an unprecedented international legal drama, with the late icon Charles Kwadwo Fosu, known as Daddy Lumba, confirmed to have been a German citizen at the time of his death. The battle has shifted from local family dispute to a complex clash of citizenship, sovereignty, and law. So this case that we're looking at here in Ghana, it's not so simple. Charles Kwadwo Fosu and Akosua Serwaa have renounced Ghanaian citizenship. Then the battle has changed. It's not 2 Ghanaians fighting. So they just have to accept what the Ghanaian court says. It's bigger than that because they are not carrying Ghanaian documents. It's like if you renounce your religion and take up another religion, and they try to now treat you in the way that the other religion used to treat you. It doesn't work. And this is what the case is about. So the three-front legal war, what can Akosua Serwaa do? The Kumasi ruling, which declared her marriage document as unauthenticated extract. They called it an unauthenticated extract. They downgraded her marriage document to extract and recognized both women as customary wives is just the opening act. I said to one of my people who commented in my last video on this topic, on this ruling, I said, this is just the beginning. The battle is just beginning. Her next moves are more strategic and potentially explosive. Here are the key legal fronts now open to her. The legal front, the appeal in Ghana, primary target and objective, the Kumasi High Court ruling to overturn Justice Dorinda Smith Arthur's judgment. That is the purpose of the appeal in Ghana. The strategic hope and feasibility. Her strongest and most direct path. She can argue the judge erred in evidence standards for foreign documents. Her team has indicated they are considering this option. And we've heard lawyer William Kusi throughout today. He was on Ezra TV and Ezra Radio, and he was also on Lawson TV. So I've got some footage. I'll show you.
I'm saying it. Yeah, I'll say it. Mama, we come to an Ashanti hotel. They say.
Of course, the truth should. In fact, the interest in this one, mom tell about your warrior more situation.
Oh, I see. That video where they clear power, the other ring is sharing and say,
oh, very clear,
oh, I see.
At least the word will know, sir. Lawyer Kusin to manufacture a certificate. And from my court. I thought it was scandalous for the judge to say that.
Oh, yeah, no, Afinano. That's interesting. Council, I mean, I was.
2. The German authentication. Her own marriage status. To obtain irrefutable state-certified proof from Germany. A procedural power move. This is not a lawsuit against Ghana. It involves getting an apostilled original certificate from the German registry, which directly counters the court's reason for dismissal. A public petition is already calling for this.
Almost say the issue. We respectfully call upon the German embassy in Ghana to verify the authenticity of the German marriage certificate attributed to Charles Kwadwo Fosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba, and Akosua Serwaa. As a distinguished figure in Ghana's music industry, it is vital that clarity be established regarding his marital status, which has become a matter of public concern. Following the court ruling on 28th November 2025, doubts raised by the Ghanaian judiciary about this certificate risk damaging his legacy and public image. Such uncertainty also sets a precedent that foreign marriages may not be recognized in Ghana, while the recognition of Priscilla for Atta, Odo Broni as a legal spouse undermines several marriage laws and promotes polygamy. A formal investigation would provide clarity, uphold transparency, and reinforce trust in official records between Germany, and Ghana. We therefore urge the embassy to promptly authenticate the certificate and issue an official statement. A timely and transparent response will help resolve this matter and restore public confidence. We invite all concerned citizens to sign this petition in support of a thorough investigation and the protection of due process. Petition was started by Cassandra, and not just say over 15,000 people as at the time I made this particular video and I signed this petition. I'm gonna say clarity if a German embassy honum marriage certificate na yɛde ma Akosua Serwaa ne Daddy Lumba no na ɛyɛ fake ana ɔmo pɛ explanation ene yɛagye atum sɛ polygamy bɛrima betumi aware bebree aside sɛ wayɛ ordinance ana ɔmo pɛ clarity indeed nokorɛ sɛ Akosua Serwaa ne Daddy Lumba ɛware ɛwɔ Germany over 15,000 Ghanaians ɛna ebusa ɛyɛ German embassy so ɔmo pɛ nya no a statement ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa. Well,
everyone. So today I just came to encourage people about the ongoing petition that we have put in on the web. So it's a petition that we are seeking the German authorities to come in to help investigate the decision of the Ghanaian High Court about the marriage certificate of Mami Serwaa and Daddy Lumba. They stated that the marriage certificate was actually not a valid one. Not a valid one. So we want the German authorities to come in and help attest to the fact that the marriage certificate was not valid. And therefore, this woman and her husband were never married. So we are seeking people's help to go and sign the petition. Please do not pay anything. Just share it to your friends and family and share it on your Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can. But please don't pay anything to anyone. Just keep on sharing and let us have justice, because this thing can affect every woman living abroad, and your marriages will not be safe. Because if somebody just lives with your husband and have kids with them, it automatically means that they are married to your husband, so you are not safe. Let us get the clarity, and then we know that the next step to take as women, as married women, as future married women. This is not just for Mami Serwaa, it is for everyone, all of us as women. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's fight. Let's fight for the truth. We are not going to let money and influence keep our mouths shut. Go out there and let your voice be heard. The injustice in Ghana is way too much. Let your voice be heard.
3. This is a very extreme thing, but it's a possibility. The body repatriation option. Ebusia paying Kofi Owusu, the Fosu and the Fosu family to assert ultimate authority over funeral and burial rights. The nuclear option based on citizenship. As a German citizen's legal widow, if proven, Akosua Serwaa Fosu could petition a German court for repatriation of the body of the late Charles Kwadwo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba, directly challenging the family's authority under Ghanaian custom. So if the Ebusuapeng and the Fosu family push Akosua Serwaa Fosu to the wall, she can take a very drastic action and go to a German court and ask them to repatriate the body back to Germany for burial. Because if in Germany her documents are recognized as legit, and I believe her documents are legit, because there's no way Germans will issue you a German passport to fly on if your documents are not legit. So Akosua Serwaa Fosu can go to a German court and get an order to get the body of German citizen Charles Kwadwo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba, repatriated back to Germany, because in Germany there's no Ebusiapeni who comes and buries your spouse. It is the widow who has rights over the body of the spouse. And I think that, we need to, our customs we have to wake up as a people from these customs, because these customs are keeping us bound. They're not helping us to move Ghana forward. How is it that when you're alive, your body belongs to you and your wife? Because the Bible says a man shall leave his family, his father and mother, and be one with his wife. But when you die, suddenly your body becomes the property of your family in Africa, in Ghana. How? Doesn't make sense to me. Let it make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. We have to look at our customs, because it's not helping us. And what if the person who, before they die, they write that I want my body to be treated in this way. I don't want any Ebusiapeni thing. I want this and that and that and that, and give specific instructions. Because it seems like when you involve this Ebusiapeni, they come and complicate matters and create a total mess of things, like how this Ebusiapeni Kofi Owusu is doing, creating mess. Everywhere he goes, he creates mess. The German citizenship game changer. This fact changes everything. Evidence presented in court stated that Daddy Lumba was a German national at death, a claim his family had disputed. Of course, Ebusiapeni Kofi Owusu would dispute that Daddy Lumba was a German citizen at the time of his death. Why would he say otherwise? Because if he agrees that he was a German citizen at death, it will make his position as Ebusiapeni redundant. And the truth of the matter is that Daddy Lumba was a German citizen at death. Reports also indicate he obtained citizenship through his marriage to Akosua Serwaa. So it was through Akosua Serwaa, the union of Akosua Serwaa, that Daddy Lumba got his German citizenship. And something that I heard in social media is that Daddy Lumba has filed for German citizenship for 4 of the children he birthed with Priscilla Odo Broni, so that they can also become German citizens. So if Daddy Lumba wasn't a German citizen, could he have filed for 4 of his children with Priscilla Ofori, aka Odo Broni, to become German citizens? So 4 out of the 6 are German citizens because their late father filed for them. So it means that at death, it confirms that at death, Daddy Lumba was a German citizen. If she secures official German validation of their marriage, she strengthens, which is Akosua Serwaa, strengthens her position, not just as a widow, but as the widow of a German citizen. This could be her most powerful leverage. So bear in mind, the German citizenship is a game changer. Let's carry on. The defamation case against the Ebusiapeni. Separately, Akosua Serwaa has a strong case for defamation against Ebusuapɛn Kofio Wusu. His televised claim that her documents were produced in Asante New Town is not a simple opinion. It is a public accusation of criminal forgery. Let's watch the video of Ebusuapɛn making this accusation, this defamatory accusation. Watch. Listen and watch this. We'll continue when we come back.
I'm saying it. Yeah, I'll say that's what I'm saying. Mama, we come to one in Ashanti no time. They say. So I was Japanese man.
Did you hear? Did you see? Ebusuapɛn Kofio Wusu is out of order. It's out of order. To win, Akosua Serwaa would need to prove in a Ghanaian court that his statement was false, caused harm to her reputation, and was made with negligence or malice. A successful suit could force a public retraction and shift the narrative in her favor. So, Akosua Serwaa Fosuh just has to make sure her German marriage certificate is authenticated as genuine by the German authorities. And then it opens a whole new case, defamation suit possibilities against Ebusuapɛn Kofio Wusu. Could Akosua Serwaa Fosuh really repatriate the body? That's the question. This is the most dramatic possibility. The argument is that as the legal widow of a German citizen, German courts recognize her right to decide his final resting place. This would directly clash with the Ghanaian customary law principle established in cases like Nikwe versus Oko that grants burial rights to the extended family, the Ebusuapɛn. The clash of two laws from two countries, German law versus Ghanaian law. The result will be a tense standoff, a potential German court order versus a Ghanaian family customary precedent. Even the threat of this action could force the family back to negotiations. Let me tell you, as they say in Chi, Eboboba. 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 The bottom line. The next chapter won't be written in a single courtroom. It will unfold through a coordinated strategy, appealing in Ghana, weaponizing proof from Germany, and leveraging Daddy Lumba's citizenship to claim ultimate authority. The goal is to use the weight of German law to counterbalance the Ghanaian court's ruling. This matter is a very delicate matter, and truth must prevail. As they say in Chi, baby adieno else dano yemfa kotowa pepepe. Na untumi downgrade Maame Akosua Serwaa to Efiaware customary marriage. Traditional marriage. Untumi downgrade nos kosa abra video no aba. You just seen the video of their marriage. Let's take a look at that, the video of their marriage. In 2004, their ordinance marriage.
Of course, the truth should. In fact, the interest in this one, mom tell about your warrior more situation.
Oh, I see. That video where they clear power. The other ring and say, yeah.
Oh, very clear, pa.
Oh, I
At
see.
least the word will know, sir. Lawyer Guzin to manufacture a certificate. And from my court. I thought it was scandalous for the judge to say that.
Oh, yeah, no, no. That's interesting. Cancer, I mean,
I took the part where Akosua Serwaa Fosu was putting the ring, the marriage ring, the wedding ring, on the hand of Daddy Lumba. A picture says 1,000 words, so the pictures are speaking. If the documents are being classified as AI generated and fake, how about the video? Is that also AI generated and fake? See, in this country, we don't tell the truth. We turn things around to suit our whatever we want to do. A person can tell you that something is white when it's black. That is Ghana for you, Africa for you. When something is white, they can tell you it's black. And you will see somebody standing somewhere justifying this lie, that the thing that is black is white, and the thing that is white is black. That is why the country is a mess. It kind of treat say Int'l Ghana atati apansam no. Yan kind of correct. Adeni ya white because say you're black. Ade. I would like you to help us grow this channel by liking, sharing, subscribe, and press that notification bell so that we can notify you of new content. This is the problem, and we are tired as a people. The youth that are coming up these days, we don't like lies, and now we have access to internet. We can check. There's so many views floating on social media. People listen to different views just to get a better understanding. So you can't hoodwink the people all the time. So well, we can see that there's something wrong with this ruling. And nobody can muzzle us to say that the judge is okay, he hasn't done anything wrong. This ruling does not make sense. Because how can somebody, if the Germans say that they've recognized her as the ordinance, they've recognized the ordinance marriage and recognized her as the legal spouse of, the only surviving legal spouse of Daddy Lumba, and Ghana court says otherwise, she's just customary. I mean, does this make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to anybody. So there you have it. So what I want to do now is I want to show you some videos of some things that lawyer Kusi said concerning what he actually submitted, the original documents he submitted to the courts. So let's watch this. And when we come back, I will close.
Wait, kakrawo. What does it say? Your original, dear. It is obvious. Say no, agro. What does it? Agro no, but maybe
why didn't you challenge that?
No, when a court is delivering judgment, you can't challenge it.
So it came through the judgment.
Yes, exactly.
When the judgment,
you say how many pages? 70. What happened was that the tender in I'm urging to now analysis is not something for waiting to sue because under section 16111 for failure and certify document, and that is where to me legally we have to argue. But the rest in the who do rather say document the copies a tender and our requesting for original. We brought the original and more. You see, we brought the original of the the certificate wasn't as though it was only Germany. Yeah, translate. Ama ya notarize. One.
What's the meaning of notarizing?
Yama notary public or Germany. A shared document because ampa a original translation of the marriage certificate from Germany to English. And a bar Institute of Languages. And there's a translation. In the translation it is written marriage certificate. I mean, the expert says it's a marriage certificate. The judge says it's not. It's an extract. And some of the mistakes the judge did, how can the Institute of Language say it's a marriage certificate? Now we judge what the court say an extract. All those are in evidence. And the appellate court will look at them. And it to me, or a big time. But it's her opinion. And as we speak, that is her decision now. But because the nature of the law is said that there cannot be a second wife when there's an ordinance or civil marriage. Even though the judge has made the pronouncement, she can never be a wife. You get maybe a wife for purposes of celebrating the funeral, but she can never be a wife.
So the funeral is coming on.
14th March.
Are you putting an embargo on it? 14th
March.
I don't say 13th December. 14th March.
14th they know we. Oh, me the batch my be boss na.
14th March.
Me
13th December any more for you.
Yes, of course.
13th December.
I know me can see here. 14th for so see.
So are we going to have a double funeral?
Yes.
How?
How
is that possible?
Because the family has not decided on the 13th of March.
That's how
expect no back or to be must say a year and my wolf here. We called the expert witness. He came to court. The judge was silent on that. Because in fact, as a matter of fact, the matter before the court was not about a year, it was about marriage. So elsewhere the pronouncement will be made. Oh, that's it. And you have to pay the year, my wolf here.
What you're saying is a December year, no mass. And say, more appealing.
Oh,
and I feel I'm over.
Yeah, Danny, we had a better of his year appeal immediately after the judgment. And now you seek the authorization of the plaintiff. Okay. No say, young Kosunya, on one tias and then tias, say, on a Wari Lumba. Another German law no be said now. 6.3. And we also, in our opinion as lawyers, believe that the judge was wrong. Look, Lumba in his lifetime made pronouncements. Ose Akosua Serwaa meyira mawa untimi nyesa.
Yes.
Odu ayi so ase medofo. They are two different. The man was very conscious of his position because he knew he had married under the Ironchem. He was very conscious of that though. He made a public show of Odo Broni, there's no doubt about that, but he always called him Medofo. And Akosua Serwaa meyire amatiska wa. So it makes a difference. Asante for pan shedan for case we being court. I'm a court and make it pronouncement.
Oh, okay.
And you know that in our setting, cautious, it's a sa and can for culture and here the difference. I would say that even in our Akan community, there are differences. And this is the first time any opportunity. Lumba being an Ashanti, Akosua Serwaa being an Ashanti. You're my worry. And that Ashanti law, the judge was to review all those things and come to a conclusion. So at the end of the day, when you are writing or you are having an issue that is related to Ashanti region, that will be the locus classicus case for matters affecting marriage in Ashanti region. And it was a big opportunity for the judge. Very proud. The
lawyer no, Akosua Serwaa lawyer no. Well, say that document you know the court no.
Original.
Well, who's any man no?
The video you see, this case near battle or court in social media.
Yeah.
And near monitor social media no.
Okay.
We found a trend of argument on a particular radio TV station. Then we realized that they were saying that the certificates were fake. It was on Friday.
Lawson FM.
I did a video in my office. show the certificate.
96.3. Who shows the certificate?
And it's the Makusho certificate, the person prejudice the mind of the. And so, they were so uncomfortable, and I was wondering what is happening. Truly, judgment, you see where they are. And in the document, a book I would be producing in Ghana.
Lawyer, pardon me, but I say you seem to say there's a fishy baby.
Oh, obviously.
I said, the man goes straight forward the B.
You get a point. I disagree with the judgment.
Do you see on seen hands?
I know that's now, but also say who are ni Oda also die.
Madam so die.
Me so die baby.
From appeal Ivan Kwa Supreme
review.
Supreme and Wapim.
I will go review. I don't go review.
I say it depends. The number of judges panel now can say unanimous. Unless you find something very fundamentally
before see and what's the evidence
exactly
out of the blue.
Exactly.
I'll be to the
oh, but we're in Court of Appeal. I bet you I'm not the beko. Because
be almost so no almost cut on too much.
Exactly. But they could both spiritual and physical.
There's some more entitlement to be with Germany. Entitlement to be you lose the entitlement.
And then I just say, I'm Pastor Lumba. Say, I'm more entitlement. Those who are proposing that
undeniably,
but there's no marriage.
No, but along the line, because
I'm glad I warm 2 days ago. I'm saying Lumba, you Germany.
For example, Akosua Serwaa, I'm not in the mind of the judge, but we are all trying to. Odo Broni di. On say, yeah, you were training, latter party felt Lumba Wareno. No, Lumba,
civil marriages, so because Agua also provided certificate of divorce. At least we made the attempt of producing a certificate of marriage.
Yeah.
Where is the certificate of divorce? And let me tell you, that guy you call neutral, or testify said Lumba told them no, what was Germany.
Oh, okay.
In his evidence. See, Abusuan Kushia or and I'm discussing during the day of the marriage, they asked Lumba. Unijire was so no I was Germany, but I break it down beyond reconciliation. That's why I divorce. In their own evidence, it is broken down beyond reconciliation. Oh, okay. What does it mean? And this was an admitted fact. But because it was ordinary, we needed to produce a certificate for the judge to be bold enough to say, oh, there is. And apart from the certificate, there were base of evidence to show that the people were married. Even this video, and apart the trending
video.
The day that they go married, yes. What does it? Until there was evidence to show that there was married legally, and the judge pronounced that be on into there was no marriage until already traditional one.
So, did you see and did you hear what lawyer William Kusi said? It seems to be contrary to the ruling of Justice Dorinda Smith Arthur. There are a lot of question marks. Anyway, we will be monitoring the appeal process and what comes out of it, because at the moment, the reputation of the judiciary of Ghana is at rock bottom. Especially for Ghanaians who live in the diaspora. The reputation of the judiciary of Ghana is at rock bottom. I'm speaking to the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Justice Paul Bafo-Boni. The reputation of the judiciary in Ghana is at rock bottom because of this case. These type of judgments, it's not doing the reputation of the judiciary in Ghana any good. Something has to be done to rectify that. You know, I always say something. If you have studied the things I say on this channel from the beginning, I said the most important thing in life is it's not the thing itself, it's the perception. Perception is so important. If you want people to follow you and see you in a good light, the perception of a matter is more important than the matter itself. And at the moment, the perception of the judiciary is at rock bottom because some of the judgments don't make sense to the citizens. And because of that, the trust in the legal system is also at rock bottom. So, I'd like to conclude and say that as for Ebusiapeng Kofi Owusu, in fact, when everything is said and done, if a defamation suit can be brought against him, I think it would be appropriate. This man is a loose cannon. He talks anyhow. The title of Ebusiapeng is not befitting. It doesn't befit him to be called Ebusiapeng. But hey, and there's also confusion about the date, whether it's 13th of December 2025 or 14 March 2026. That's also another issue. But I will say that Akosua Serwaa Fosu should relax herself in Germany. If they choose to do the funeral on the 13th of December, she shouldn't bother herself. Just make sure that the truth comes out in the court. So whatever level they have to take this matter to get the right judgment and the acknowledgement that she is the sole surviving spouse of Daddy Lumba, because she holds the ordinance marriage certificate. Whatever length she has to go to prove that, she should. But it is clear, our judiciary in Ghana don't necessarily tell the truth. They will come and quote you. The worst thing is that they will quote you Bible. You can do nothing against the truth, but only for the truth. And then they will do you dirty. Look at the ruling. Quoting Bible. Quoting you Bible. You can do nothing against the truth, but only for the truth. And then they will do you dirty. This is Ghana for you. What a shame. So sad. But we thank God that He's working. I was so happy to see Akosua Serwaa Fosu in her televised thank you message to all her supporters. You know, she looked healthy and well, and it looks like some stress is off her at the moment. So we thank God for that. You know, and obviously I was very happy to hear the commending words of Apostle Nana Kwate Amanfo, that he said every man who has a gift or a talent should pray for an Akosua Serwaa in their life. Because it takes somebody to build somebody. If people just don't become great, somebody invested in them for them to become great. So with that message, I'd like to say thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, I would like you to like, share, subscribe. In fact, I really want to grow this channel. So if you could subscribe, I'll be very grateful. And I hope that this information has helped you to have a better understanding. Because the Bible says For lack of knowledge, my people perish. If you lack understanding, you are perishing. So I pray that, I give you good, insightful information, because it opens your mind, it makes you better. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode. And I would like to say and end this episode with Ghana first, always. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Bye.